Awesome. We're 3 minutes in, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. This will be recorded and we will also send out the deck. So everyone will have access to this. And yeah, let's get rolling. So this is our final countdown to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. We are 2 weeks away from the big weekend. So this AMA is truly for low effort, high impact, last minute strategies that you can implement today leading up to the 23rd, and it's going to benefit you, of course, for the holidays, but well after as well. So we are going to get into first our tips, and hopefully that'll spark a lot of questions being asked in the chat and getting us into that AMA. And then we're going to go into the pre-submitted questions that you submitted when you registered for this event. So we got tons of questions put in. We'll get into those. And then, yeah, anything that comes in chat, we'll address as we get into it. So first, we're going to hear from an intro from our speakers today and the pros that we have on here with us. We'll start off with myself, SJ here from Justuno. I'll be speaking from the on-site CRO perspective and really what you can do to optimize your on-site experiences and how that funnels into all your other channels and off-site efforts. I'll pass it over to Steph from Postscript. Can we get an intro from you?
Yes. Hey, y'all. As Steph said, I am Steph from Postscript. I am a CSM here, and I'm going to be sharing tips on maximizing your SMS during BFCM. And I do want to call out Postscript. We are an SMS revenue platform for Shopify, all plans on Shopify only. Just want to call that out.
Love it. Thank you. We'll throw it over to Andrew from Retensity.
Yes, thank you, Steph and Steph. So my name is Andrew Christensen. I'm co-founder of Retensity. I'm speaking today on Lifecycle Marketing. We're a full-service lifecycle marketing agency, laser focused on fast growth brands, particularly in e-commerce. So we work with brands like Cuts Clothing, Jouer Cosmetics, Diamond Art Club, and more. And I'm excited to go through this critical channel that also Steph and Steph are going to be addressing things on as well. So it should be fun.
Yeah, it's all going to tie in really nicely. I would trust anyone here to run my site and do stuff. So just so everyone knows that. We'll go to Eric from Aversion.
Hello, thank you, Steph. My name is Eric. I'm with customer success and data with Reversion. We specialize in affiliate and influencer marketing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can use those channels for BFCM and all year long.
Heck yeah, we've got some great questions around that, and we'll sync up nicely with just the topic of social commerce and being able to sell kind of anywhere now. Throw it over to you, Oren from Fondue, for an intro.
Hey, what's going on? Oren from Fondue here. Fondue is now a Postscript company. We were bought by Postscript earlier this year. So what up, Steph? I'm going to be chatting about discounting intentionally and why I think coupon codes are the devil, the Grinch that stole margin.
Hate them, but use them. I get you. We'll throw it over to Tila from Stamped.
Hey everyone, I'm Tila. I'm the product marketing manager at Stamped. Stamped is a reviews and loyalty software for e-commerce brands. So today we're going to talk about all things UGC, product reviews, brand reviews, and how you can use a loyalty program to amplify sales with existing customers this BFCM.
Heck yeah, I love loyalty. I am a sucker for points. And lastly, we'll finish off with Larry from customers.ai.
Thanks, Stephanie. My name is Larry, and I'm the CEO of Customers.ai. We work with companies to supercharge their email list generation.
I'm kind of losing you, Larry. I'm sorry. Do you mind speaking up just a little bit?
Sure. How's that? I'm with Customers AI. We can help you supercharge your email capture, list generation capabilities, as well as audience building for remarketing on Facebook.
Amazing, thank you. And Virgil, I did not mean to leave you hanging. Give us a little intro.
Hi guys, my name is Virgil, co-founder of WeSupply, and we basically help e-commerce businesses and retailers convert their shipments and returns and make them more profitable. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about basically the basics, logistics, returns, etc., and how that can work in your favor and how you can actually make money off of it and how you can save a lot of money.
Amazing. Another stream of revenue for us to look into, to engage with. This is really meant to give you that full funnel view of like where you can ask questions, maybe what holes you have. So looking forward to seeing what tips we give today, everyone. I'll get into our quick agenda here. So this is the order you can expect us to present in right now. We'll get into our discussion questions and then along with the Ask Me Anything part. And then we've got some special offers at the end. So if you are watching this and mention the webinar, that's going to be an offer for you. So we'll think about these tips as if like I've gone into your account and this is really what I would want to look at or do for you. So I'll start us off with the Justuno tips, and it's all about creating on-site experiences that convert. So tip number 1 is going to be curating experiences for identified and anonymous visitors based on source data. When I say identified and anonymous, that's just for me between like if you have them in your email or SMS channel, or if you don't, like how engaged are they with you? And then we're targeting them and creating these experiences based off of source data. So that can be maybe your top sources that are leading traffic to your website, or where you're investing a lot of money, like whatever is priority to you, which of course, where we're investing, that totally makes sense. And when we're curating these experiences, we're considering these top touch points, which is really the top touch points I work on with every client. And it's something that's foundational, but these are touch points you can also expand on to create a really, I would say like really personalized experience down the line. So we've got a welcome, pop-up, or offer, something separate from your lead capture. We've got something that is for a visitor that's exiting, someone that is abandoning their cart, someone that is doing those add to cart actions. They've literally clicked add to cart and they have something in their cart. And then we've got banners and post-purchase. So all these little touch points, when added together on their own, lead to those increased conversions that otherwise wouldn't have happened if you didn't have that engagement in place. So the gist of tip 1 is look at source data, see where you can really target and create unique experiences quickly. Tip 2 is incorporate a last touch scenario with exit and cart abandonment pop-ups. This is for really max conversion opportunities. And I'm calling out exit and cart abandonment pop-ups here more specifically from those touch points, because you're probably already doing a lot offsite with those other channels in email or SMS. So it's going to be really easy for you to reuse that creative or the copy that you're using in your pop-ups. And it's all about using the right behavioral triggers to trigger this type of pop-up. So it's not showing for everyone, right? And it's not going to show just if they're traveling on your website. We're looking at the data that you have and we're seeing how people are behaving. That's a really quick win to make sure you get engagements on site. And tip number 3 is going to be to provide free gift and offer redemption upon add to cart clicks and post-purchase. So 2 really unique touch points where they're giving us like the ultimate intent, right? They've added something to cart or they've already purchased. So now we're kind of like in retention mode, customer lifetime value, giving them still a lot of value and education probably. And the reason you want to address that add to cart and you want to give that free gift or that offer redemption, I didn't say coupon, I didn't say discounts or anything. You want to give them that. This is meant to increase AOV and increase those repeat purchases really easily and seamlessly. So the idea is once they've added something to cart, maybe you want them to reach your $100 threshold for free shipping. You're showing them a really sweet bundled offer or a product that goes right along with what they added in order to get to that increase. So it's very strategic. If placed in the right spot on the right product page, can yield a lot, but overall a strategy that you can carry over to other products and pages that you have. And then I'll finish off here with examples that I have. So just to show you like the various types of engagements, little baby touch points you can have on site. On this left-hand side, we've got a custom tracking page, and there's 3 solid elements here that lead to touch points and that have probably different strategies related, but the idea is to get more engagement with the brand. So we've got a free shipping banner up top. We've got the real-time opt-ins for text here in the middle if someone hasn't subscribed. So you don't have to show that to anyone. You can always just show it to someone that's not on your list yet. And then you've got product recommendations. I love these images because they actually kind of look they just look more lifestyle, like my friend took a picture of my friend and that's the picture that's here. So I like that in terms of UGC and kind of getting out of the box of like the picture perfect product images. And then these other examples, what's really nice is you see clear CTAs. You see that there's options to add gifts to cart easily and then timers for urgency. So it's kind of mixing all of these tactics together, but ultimately we've got one-click action is the goal. This Solly Baby example, I love to call this out because it's not giving an offer. It's all about site navigation and getting them just to the next step and working with the brand or figuring out like how they actually want to engage with the brand. So these will be ready for you to reference in this deck. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to our next speaker here.
Excellent. So Retensity's tips for lifecycle marketing excellence this Black Friday and Cyber Monday. You'll see in here that I kind of went a little bit outside of lifecycle as well, but just making sure that in the last 10 years that I've worked with hundreds of brands during Black Friday and Cyber Monday, these are the things that we find needed the most advisement and actually are the best opportunities that folks can apply really easily to their strategy, even at the last minute. So first and foremost, put together a detailed segment by segment sending strategy for the emails that are going out. Make sure that the segments are relevant to what you are sending. Do not send to your entire list. This is not the right time to get blacklisted or flagged for a deliverability issue. Sending to your entire list can cause problems, especially now, especially during this time frame when folks are getting a lot of inbox placements. So make sure to have a deployment on Thanksgiving evening as well. We still see folks not sending on Thanksgiving evening, but oftentimes for many brands, I would even say most brands that we work with, we'll see that it'll perform better than Black Friday will. So get in there when folks are just starting to settle in and say, hey, maybe I should start shopping officially now. Send off hours to account for inbox noise as well. There's going to be a lot of deployments out there. There's going to be a lot of noise in the inbox. It's going to be a lot of noise on your phone as well. So make sure that the messages are getting through and that you're sending at times that aren't the exact same time that another 20 folks are going to be sending. Postscript will go into this more, I am sure, but lean into the intimacy of SMS as a channel. Folks subscribe to less brands on SMS than they do on email. So while email sending strategy is absolutely critical and highly encouraged, use it along with SMS as well in order to get in front of the folks that are willing to give you the highest amount of intimacy with them by letting you be in their SMS contacts with their friends and loved ones and parents that they're saying Happy Thanksgiving to. And then lastly, on tip number 1, use email resends strategically. So you don't have to create a wholly new email for every single deployment that you're going to be doing. This is a higher volume period. You can do strategic resends during this time. By strategic resends, I mean sending an additional email maybe 4 hours after deployment or 5 hours after deployment to folks that have opened and clicked but not converted in order to drive that extra incremental revenue for each deployment that you're sending out during this very high volume period. Align the lifecycle customer experience. This is pretty straightforward and it's almost so obvious that I didn't know if I should include this, but it is critical. Ensure the site, all pop-ups, automations, emails, and SMS reflect the brand's accurate Black Friday, Cyber Monday promotions. Getting mixed customer experience, having different offers pop in. If you end up giving an email to a pop-up and then you receive a notification via email or via SMS with a different offer, and then on site there's a separate offer entirely and completely. This can cause a lot of friction with the customer experience. And this is something that you can really guide and should really pay attention to during this very high volume period. In addition to that, have backup SMS or emails and or email layouts ready and in queue if and when out of stock occurs. So I know a lot of the brands out there are going to be doing doorbuster. A lot of the brands out there, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 top selling products. And maybe you think that you have the right amount of inventory or the correct amount of inventory. And maybe that's not always true. So make sure that your emails aren't actually calling out every single item specifically. So whether or not you're doing that through dynamic updates for what's in stock, or you're actually creating emails that are a little bit more generic also as secondary emails in case you run out of stock, just have them ready and in queue so that when it happens, or if it happens, you could easily just go in there and unschedule an email and reschedule another one. And you don't have to panic in the last minute. And then tip number 3, buckle up. So be prepared for ISP throttling. When you send emails, we're all going on the same highways. We're all going on the same commutes this holiday season. And what that means is that there's going to be traffic jams. So you're going to send out an email and it may not get there in a what you would deem a timely fashion, but expect it to happen. Know that it's going to happen. Once again, this is don't panic. Know that it's going to happen and be prepared for it. And then this is a little bit outside my swim lane, but it's something that we've seen across brands that we've worked with over the years. Make sure to do proper website load testing to see if your website can handle the web traffic influx that you're going to receive this holiday. Extend customer service hours to deal with increased queries and help convert sales. Make sure the chat agent is aligned with extended hours. And with that, good luck and Godspeed, my friends.
Heck yeah, those are amazing. I think your tip number 2 was definitely needed to be said. Like there should be a harder transition into your holiday mode, selling theme, whatever it is. And making sure that aligning can be a little hard to do, but if you're utilizing the thought of just being really transparent, communicating, you're on the right track. Thank you, Andrew. We'll pass it over to Steph from Postscript for some SMS marketing tips.
Hey y'all, I'm excited to be able to share some SMS marketing. Since BFCM is knocking on our door, I wanted to curate the tips more around the sending of that time. So I'm going to start with tip 1. The biggest thing you're going to want to make sure you're doing is cloning current automations you already have to address your Black Friday specials. As Andrew called out, you don't want to have something giving them a coupon when they can't double stack. You don't want it calling out a past offer or something of that nature. It is also really great to put that FOMO on a cart abandon in that text, letting them know this is our best sale of the year, or this is our best offer, what we're giving. It's typically around this time. Put that FOMO in there to help. Don't just be sending messages to send. Make sure they have a point. Some of them that I call out is to make sure to have your welcome series, browse abandonment, cart and checkout abandonments, and then those post-purchase upsell cross-sells. Make sure they don't have coupons or products that are possibly out of stock or low inventory, or possibly put delays so they're not coming right during the BFCM time. And then also make sure to be setting up, utilize these people coming in, buying during this time, signing up on your SMS, set up Black Friday, Cyber Monday follow-ups, touch base, keep that going into the new year, keep them a customer, even into December. Hopping into that second tip, this is probably the one that I will say I'll die on a hill with. You want to send reminders. Don't stress about over messaging during this time. As Andrew said, even too prior, there's so much communication going out. You don't want to get buried. As most people aren't on SMS, that doesn't mean that they don't need reminders or need follow-ups. As I call out here, 80% of SMS attributed orders occur in the first 20 minutes of receiving a message. We're humans, life happens. We set our phone down, we forget. I might need a reminder to come back And on those same day follow-ups, we typically see a 40% greater revenue increase. That's killer and crucial during this time. Don't count somebody out just because you don't think they're engaged or willing to spend during this time. And last but certainly not least, you want to make sure you are doing maximum deliverability. There's some great tips to call out here. Starting with, if you are going to send those multiple day sends, you're going to send 2 texts. That first offer going out, maybe that last chance on the last day of the sale, reminding people later in the day you send that follow-up. Make sure to include apply stop. If you are on SMS, you know compliance is a huge thing. This is going to keep you compliant during this time. And that is so important and critical. It also is going to help with your deliverability. It builds more trust with the carriers. As it was mentioned before too, you want to send off the hour. If you want to send at 9 a.m., it's best to schedule at 9:07, 9:14, even later in the day. All throughout this send of the time, make sure you're scheduling those off the hour. And of course, the earlier you can schedule is going to help you not only save you time and kind of give you that freedom during this stress time, but also it helps you with getting those text messages out. Andrew called it out amazing. We're all on the same highway. It's the same thing for phone. We're on the same highway that we personally text with as well. So you want to make sure you're in that fast lane. Scheduling is going to help you. And if you are going to be texting during this time, we recommend SMS. MMS can cause delays, including that GIF and that image. So if you want it to get at a certain time or within a certain amount of time, try to. Of course, we can't guarantee, but an MMS can cause extreme delays, especially from like November 21st to November 28th. And I do want to end with just making sure you all go crush BFCM, but also probably one of the most important things, take care of yourself during this time. Nurture yourself. It's stressful, but we're all going to get through it together.
Heck yes, Steph. You just took like so much fear that like I get when I'm asked about SMS questions and like working on pop-ups of this is like the best way to be set up for success to like do the bare minimum. And I love what you and Andrew touched on overall site health check, just your speed. And that it can totally extend to asking your vendors, like the apps that you're using, like, hey, I'm expecting this, or what do you have in plan if this happens? Like, make sure you feel peace of mind. Like that's what your vendors are there for, to help you out right now. Lovely job, Steph. Thank you. I will pass it over to Virgil now to get into our post-purchase tips.
Hey, everybody. Well, this is my favorite season, to be quite honest. This is basically the season that's going to stress test your website, your campaigns, your team, your processes, your SOPs, everything. And the way we look at it, so we're basically a post-purchase experience platform, right? It's a lot of work to generate the sale, but now we have the sale, but the fun just starts. We have to ship it out, get it to the customer, make sure, when they are returning, we offer a great experience. And especially during this season, a lot of things can go wrong, right? You get the order, you invest a lot of money in your logistics to ship it out. You ship it out, within 24 hours, and then UPS, USPS, FedEx, just drops the balls, right? I'm living in Philadelphia area, New Jersey, New York. This is a huge hub, millions of people. All the orders are coming real close, major distribution centers, and then they get stuck. So when those packages get stuck, and sometimes they are stuck for days, or weeks, the customers get very frustrated. Nobody tells them, they call you, where's my order? We all heard those WISMO orders, customer support tickets. And the worst thing that can happen is basically chargeback, right? So we want to be ahead of everything. We want to be proactive. We want to monitor all those shipments. We monitor all the orders until they are shipped out. But as soon as it's shipped out, we say like, oh, it's not in my hand. Well, we have to control the controllables, right? And we want to make sure we're tracking, we're monitoring all those shipments. And when there's a delay, we automatically notify the customer. And if it's a VIP customer, we'd probably want to, or a big order, we want to overnight a new package. Now, if you look at this as like, oh, we're gonna like lose so much money, etc., it's not always the case. All these bad experiences can be converted into good experiences. And the way you can do that is you have a delay, we're really sorry, please take our apology, and here's a coupon code for $100, for $10, whatever that might be, that you can use, you know, in January when you're not expecting a lot of orders. So if you're very strategic about it, you can actually convert a very bad experience into a really good one. Now, my second tip is when we are basically sending out all these notifications about the orders, shipments, etc., we want to control the entire customer experience. So just sending out a tracking number and saying like, hey, go to UPS website and figure it out, that's actually a very horrible experience. We want to send out personalized emails that has all the tracking information embedded, and the customers are expecting this. So it's one thing, a marketing message, and a completely different one is an update about your order, a delay, an out for delivery. Especially out for delivery during the holiday season is super important because there are all these pirate porches, right, who are stealing your packages. So we can basically trigger a notification when the package is out for delivery, as well as when it was delivered. And delivery through SMS, we are integrated with PostScript, for example, and many others, is you get that 99% open rate basically within the first few minutes. So you get the text message, the package has been delivered, you can go out, pick up the box before, you know, somebody puts their eye on it. And those are great opportunities. So as I show here, during the holiday season, 84% open rate and 47% click-through rate. That's insane. Like, you can compete with that. But those are opportunities to upsell, to educate the customer about your products, you know, how to use them so you minimize returns further down the road. And when they click through, they basically go to a branded tracking page. You don't want to send the customer to UPS website or FedEx website. That's not something that you control. You don't want a horrible experience, you know, especially if you have bigger items for LTL, you know, 1980 looking websites. You want to send it to a branded tracking page, just like Amazon does. They never send you to the UPS website. And on that page, you can upsell new products. For example, you can embed Justuno carousel of recommended products, upsell personalized products. And those are great, great, great opportunities to convert the customer, to further educate them. And this is like something that Amazon does it, and all the big brands are doing it. So huge opportunity. And always don't forget, bad opportunities are great opportunities if you're strategic about them. Now, we know Black Friday is great. We have a lot of sales. Everything is good. We celebrate, but right after the holiday season, it starts the return season, right? Most of those products are getting returned. They are returned for various reasons. And I'm really curious here, if you guys can type in the chat, you know, what's your current return rate? I'm really, really curious. But what we see in the fashion industry is around 25%. And during the holiday season, this was last year. And this year, we see like 35, even 45% return rate for the same exact brands. Those are like really, really high numbers. But a return doesn't necessarily mean you have to issue the refund as cash back into their bank account, right? You have different opportunities. So, for example, in the fashion industry, footwear especially, you can convert a refund into an exchange. And that's like huge. That's 65% is what we see there. You know, I got, for example, size 8.5, it's too small. I want size 9. You don't want to give the customer the money back. As soon as you give the money back, now they have the opportunity to go to a different brand, you know, and spend their money somewhere else. You want to keep the customer within your brand, make it seamless, make it easy for them. They don't have to wait for anything, you know, they just return the product, you know, and exchange it instantly within the platform. 65% conversion, that's huge. Additionally, if the customer doesn't want an exchange, you can basically offer them store credit, and the store credit can be incentivized, you know, with, for example, 10% additional instead of cash. Now you're still keeping that customer within your brand. And what's really cool, if you do an exchange, for example, for a different product, if it's more expensive, you can capture more money from the customers. For example, returning something for 100 for something for 150. Perfect, you made an extra $50. If it's something less, the difference you can offer it as store credit. And that's a completely new opportunity in a month or two to get that customer back, to re-engage with that customer. Hey, you have $50 store credit. Don't forget to use it, to bring them back into your system, into your website, brand, to re-engage with them and basically make a follow-up purchase. So these are very important, and it's really cool to focus on getting the sale. Most important from my perspective, because that's where the real customer experience starts, is after you make the sale. So here's a quick example. We can track, for example, how when packages stuck in one of the warehouses, we can automatically trigger a notification using any of the services, or we can trigger it or PostScript to send out the SMS, hey, your package was delayed, here's an extra $10. We're really sorry for that. To avoid chargebacks. Chargebacks are huge. This is, for example, the other day, I'm not sure you guys can see, but this was on the 8th. This month, already the USPS website was expecting, you can see the red banner. The system was not working. It was not updating orders. So this is a horrible experience on the right-hand side, where on the left-hand side, you have a branded tracking page with recommended products, that's where, Justuno carousel can be embedded.
That's a great, what it could be example of that.
Exactly. And, refund is not the only option. So you can, if the product was damaged, you can just resend the customer a new product. If they want to make an exchange, you can offer them a quick way to do an exchange. If they want their money back, yes, you can offer that, but you can incentivize, instant credit, store credit, with an extra 10%. So there are many ways of giving the money back. And it's not just us doing this, Amazon teaches the customers that this is what they should expect. So I should learn from that.
Yeah, 100%. You're so right. We're being taught so much off of websites. Naturally, that's going to transition into how we want to behave on websites. I know we've been getting a lot of asks for the virtual try-on thing that Amazon does, very popular, but just not something that a lot of brands have been able to figure out with their products, or at least promote, really effectively. But all of these options that you pointed out, Virgil, that you don't have to do the full return example, you should be highlighting these as value adds in your cart abandonment, in your exit offers. It shouldn't be hidden. It's right now is a time to remove objections, more right away, immediately. And if anything, that just speaks to them building more trust, because, oh yeah, they know what's up. They know what's going on here as a shopper. Thank you, Virgil. That was awesome. Pass it over to reversions tips today. Eric, let you take it away.
Thank you. So we're going to start with tip 1, essentially building trust, tracking properly. Nothing will kill any affiliate, influencer, ambassador campaign worse than the whole question of is it even tracking what I'm doing? So it goes without saying that you need something to kind of track. It's not the time. Black Friday is not the time to be trying to spitball it with an Excel sheet or hope and prayer. But beyond just having that general solution, it's also the time before Black Friday to kind of just do that testing and double check things. I cannot count how many times people implemented a new site infrastructure or a new custom landing page or external flows that all flow to their checkout that require just a little bit of tweaking to make sure it tracks properly. You don't want to discover on the middle of Friday that fancy landing page that is converting so well is not being tracked at all. And I've had that happen to people, so don't be that person. So again, the broader platform, the broader tracking, of course, that's a given, but also those specific flows. Everything that goes to your checkout flow, you need to make sure that's tested, confirmed, and goes through for that. That your ambassadors, your influencers, your affiliates will all get credit for all their hard work. To them, too. You gotta communicate. That communication starts well before Black Friday, but you have to kind of make it worth their while. I think there's always a lot of noise and a lot of voices and a lot of yelling where it's always hard to stand out from the pack and kind of be that why should we promote for you versus promote for 1,000 other companies, especially as you scale up and get to a larger publisher or a larger influencer? So you need to make sure you're giving them a reason to promote for you. You can make it fun with gamification. That's especially useful for nano and micro influencers and ambassadors, where it's like they can have contests with each other. The winner can get some sort of rewards. Yes, monetary rewards. Everybody likes money, but also think outside the box. You can make it that it's not just more commission. Maybe it's product. Maybe it's a special, unique product that they can only get through their participation in winning. So the more you can kind of make it fun, you can incentivize, create kind of a reason for them to promote you as opposed to the other guy, the better. And of course, yes, you have to make it fun for them, but you also have to give them something that's going to be effective to the end customer. So this is where it's critical to kind of think about both the broad as well as the tailored. On its simplest level, it could be something as like a deeper discount. And I know we all love discounts for your affiliates, but think beyond that to kind of the creating the uniqueness, creating the FOMO, whether that's a bundle only available through a particular affiliate's link, whether it's a special offer, again, that can only be accessed through a kind of unique link, and specialize those to particular niches, to particular influencers. For that, you're creating something that is both an incentive for the affiliated influencer and the end customer. For that, in the end of the day, there's a reason for them to click that link and to follow that and to listen to go make that purchase right then and there. So it's really appealing to the affiliate, appealing to the end customer, and of course, just making sure everything works ahead of time. Go to the next slide. We have a couple just examples here, but again, focusing on that tool, you got to track things. You got to make sure you have something that is going to be able to keep up with the scale, fingers crossed, that is going to be able to give you that reporting capability for you can do those postmortems and look back and understand what went right, what went wrong, what do I need to improve. And again, test every flow. Those creative commission structures, it's just giving more money, again, like higher commission for Black Friday, it'll work, but the more you can make it unique, the more you can make it fun, the more it really will stand out. And you keep that in mind and communicate again, communicate. You should be routinely engaging with your affiliates and influencers so that they understand when these are going to come out. If it can be, is it going to be the whole week? Is it just going to be the day? Depending on your scale, you could make these a longer term. You could even have flash sales as if you're communicating, especially if you're communicating with your affiliates via SMS. You can communicate, but the more you can kind of let them know about these different priorities and the different commission structures and perks, the better, and the quicker you can kind of incentivize them to promote for you.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Eric. I love what you were saying about like kind of making them feel special too, like with that gamification, right? Like these influencers or creatives, like they need to just be reminded as much as your customers need to be reminded. And I wanted to add too, like right now, maybe if you don't have creators on your team or influencers that you're working with, it's a great time to start capturing at least their Instagram or TikTok handles if they're arriving on site. And then you can use services to figure out if like where influencers or which influencers are already shopping with you that you can tap into to then go into all this hard stuff that Eric said and managing and making these influencers feel special. Because although, yes, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, very close, might not be able to find influencers right now and get that going, you can still make an impact in December, the new year. And I would say don't sleep on the micro influencers. Like I'm all about them. We trust them so much. So great stuff, Eric. Thank you for that. Wonderful. I'll pass it over to Oren for fondues tips now.
All right, everyone, we're gonna get real here for a second. Let's open up. And if you agree with me, I want to see the contest of who's got the weirdest emoji confirmation for this. So if you agree with my next sentence, let me see a weird emoji in the chat. If you're addicted to coupon codes, let me know. It's okay. It's okay. I'm saying as a brand, as shoppers, we'll take them. And when I say we'll take them, they're so easy to use, you're not going to use them. Even if you're not price sensitive. These are D2C shoppers. If they were price sensitive, that the core reason why they're buying your product, they're not buying on your site. They're going to go buy on Amazon. So I won't write it, but I will say it. Fuck coupon codes. So I want to talk about discounting intentionally this BFCM and every day thereafter. So the first thing, surprise, surprise, don't default to coupons. Let's discount intentionally here. These stale, leaky coupon codes, they're commoditized, they're boring. People have coupon blindness like they have banner blindness. So having an exotic different discount at different times of the year will simply lead to more engagement because it's different. So cashback is a discount type, so is BOGO, free gift with purchase, raffles. There's a brand, I can't remember who. You join a raffle to win a pickup truck, and I think they sell wallets, right? So just know that discount is an engagement opportunity. Get weird with it. So don't default to coupons at the very least. Number 2 is avoid FML. This time I'll say it again, is fuck my list. This is the time where you're seeing the fruits of your labor. This is where, as we've said, there's this different permission structure. Shoppers accept that they're going to be getting more emails and SMSs. Just recall what your list experience is like. Are you segmenting? Are you building that list year round? And are you still building that list during BFCM? You are going to get more shoppers. And while your conversion rate goes up, most people are not buying things. You should still be capturing these first-time shoppers or potential shoppers at this moment. A great way to do that is with a harmonious discount, right? Across all the channels, what we tend to see as the best practice is have a core discount that you're promoting and offering so people don't feel like you're playing games with them, but build that list during your highest traffic time of the season. Don't stop building that list. Don't end the year saying FML. Number 3 is don't discount for that first-time purchase. You don't want this to be a holiday fling, right? You want this to be an engaging experience, an engaging discount that brings them back. And oh my gosh, I think I'm now going to talk my book and tell you how we do that at CashBack. Can you hook me up with the next slide, please? Amazing. So I'm going to, in 30 seconds, talk about how cashback works, but really exotic discounts work. Unlike coupon codes where shoppers effortlessly will enjoy the discount, whether or not they're sensitive to it, you're not going to copy and paste it or get it injected. Cashback is where shoppers pay full price, knowing they're eligible to claim their discount post-purchase. Now, some shoppers won't claim it, and that makes sense because they're buying D2C Shopify. If they're price sensitive, they're not shopping on your site. They're connecting with the brand for some greater reason, organically sourced quality. If they're price sensitive, they are not buying D2C. So the fact that you're giving away these coupons effortlessly is the greatest way to lose margin. So what we tend to see is the shoppers are given the cashback choice post-purchase. Claim their discount, either as cash or at a greater value as site credit, or maybe they won't claim it. We typically see only 30 cents on the dollar claimed as cash. That is so much margin recovery. And think about where your coupons live. Can you press the space bar? Or let's see the next image here. So brands most often are using this on their, there it is, on their pop-up. So here's an example of Barstool Sports. They're not afraid to do weird things. They graduated from coupon codes to cashback. The next is in that retention flow. Stephanie, we're going to see a beautiful postscript SMS here of Obvi, who is adding 12% more margin by overcoming their coupon code addiction with exotic discounts, which includes cashback as a discount alternative. Anti-coupon, obviously pro cashback, but many different types. One more click, and you can have this site-wide. We have a number of brands doing this for in their discount calendar, BFCM July 4th, the brand's anniversary sale. But these are all great ways to be using cashback. And one more, I'm just going to be showing off, the Boy Scout and Girl Scout badges of some of the brands that are overcoming their coupon code with cashback. Thanks for tolerating the energy party, people. I'll go back on mute. Let us count how many times more coupon gets said. My prediction was 10. Let's get that count going.
Heck yes, Oren. I love your take. All of that can be applied literally anywhere in that shopper funnel, wherever anyone's at. I really like that. And it's like an immediate kind of like, yeah, you're going to come back. You're going to come shop again. And I really like that. And it's different. It stands out. Coolio. We're going to throw it over to Stamped tips for, oh, is it not clicking through? Okay, there we go. For reviews in UGC.
Thanks, Steph. Okay, I'm going to start off with a poll. Raise your hand for the panelists. You can physically raise it. For everyone else in the chat, we're using the Zoom raise hand function if you read reviews before you buy a product online. This is an internal debate that we have. Some of the stats say it's 98% of people. I think it's more like 100% of people. I think everyone reads a review before they buy a purchase online. And what we really find at Stamped is that the number one best review that you can have is one that has the right context for the customer. So by that, I mean, if you're selling a apparel product, do you have photo reviews in there to see how what the product looks like for other people? If you're selling a wellness product, are you asking for before and after pictures and then putting them on your PDP pages, your pre-sale pages, and in your social campaign? What we see is that any page that has a photo review on it actually has a 6-time upsell lift. So if you're looking to really drive focus to one product, make sure that you have photo reviews on that page. And here's my very easy to implement tip for that. If you're a Stamp customer or if you are using any other tool to collect photo reviews before BFCM, make sure that your widget to show those photo reviews on PDPs is enabled and optimized. Very simple tip. Go check that, everyone on the call who is using this. My second tip for BFCM is to consider your existing audience. So Stamped is a reviews and loyalty software. And by loyalty, we mean points program, VIP programs, and referral programs. Your loyalty customers are going to be kind of the richest source to prospect into. We know that a lot of people are focused on kind of like that new top of funnel acquisition lever that they can pull during BFCM, but we really like to encourage our customers to dig into that existing customer base. Products that are repurchased actually often have higher AOVs, so people will buy more than one products. One of the easiest ways to do this for BFCM is to actually create kind of a pre-sale campaign for your VIP customers or your loyalty customers. This is super simple to set up. We have an integration with Klaviyo and with Attentive as well, where you can actually segment your VIP customers and create one unique email just for them. So what you could do is maybe 3 days before you launch to everyone else, you're launching the same promotion to just those customers and framing it as early exclusive access, and you'll see a bigger lift from that group. The benefit of that too is that you're going to get some additional reviews in from that group. Here's my third tip for you, and that is to consider maximizing your post BFCM strategy. Obviously, you're going to have a huge influx of shoppers during the holiday season. And so you want to make sure that you are getting as many of those shoppers into your loyalty program as possible, and that you're getting as many reviews as possible from those customers. So for the loyalty program, one of the best tactics that we've seen is to give some type of special points reward for customers who make a purchase during the holiday season. So maybe if you make a purchase on BFCM weekend, instead of giving you 200 points to sign up for our loyalty program, we're going to give you 500 points to sign up for the loyalty program. And then you'll see more people enroll in that. And that gives you just a new segment to kind of prospect into to re-engage after the holiday weekend. For reviews, this is the easiest tip ever. It is to ensure that your reviews are set to after fulfillment and that you change the delivery time for your review requests. There is nothing worse than receiving a request for review for a product that hasn't yet arrived. Most of the time, the answer that you're going to get is, my product isn't here yet, shipping is late, where is my product? So make sure that you're adjusting your review request time during the holiday season so that they'll arrive after the customer has received the product, and then they're able to see the value and then write the review, take the photo, record the video. At the start, we shared some of our favorite brands in the chat of really great examples of products, of different pages. These are some of my favorite ones, and they're different Stamped review programs and loyalty programs. So we have Bush Bomb, Native, Purple, Kitsch, Georgie Main, and Tony Ray. Highly encourage you all to go poke around on their websites to look around at their photo reviews as well as their loyalty program. These are kind of best in class examples of how you can really leverage reviews and loyalty to increase conversion rates, and then what it can look like when it is both really basic and using our kind of implementation setup to all the way to something that is customized with a lot of CSS, a lot of hard coding too. Those are my quick tips there.
Yay. Thank you, Tila. That's great. Yeah, I'm gonna look up every site that you just mentioned there. So thank you for that. We'll pass it over to Larry for our tips, and then we'll get into our final AMA questions. Oopsies. Let me go back. All
Thanks,
right, Larry.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Great. This is the customer AI tips for, reaching your audience. And the first tip is super complimentary to Justuno, and that is to expand on your kind of email captures by identifying the anonymous website visitors and capturing their contact info. And you might be wondering, well, how do you do that? Well, we do have a script that you can install, like a website identification pixel that you can install on your website, which will then kind of inform you of the contact information of the folks who visited your website, as much as 15 to 20% of the people coming to your site. So, you still use Justuno to, capture all these high value intents and stuff like this. And then all, this kind of like the collector of all the other stuff. You can, anything that gets away, we can figure that out for you. And sometimes it's even too many leads, like, like imagine you're doing, hundreds of thousands of visitors. This could generate 20, 40,000 emails a month or more in that situation. And so what we recommend is you, put on filters like, scroll depth of certain number of inches, or time on site of certain amount of time, or certain high value pages that indicate that the person was further down in the funnel, so that you can kind of have your cake and eat it too in terms of both quantity and quality of subscriber of email captures. My second tip here is to recover your retargeting audience reach to pre-iOS 14 and pre-Google Chrome cookie apocalypse levels. So I've been doing Facebook advertising for tens of thousands of companies over the last decade, and the most profitable single Facebook or any ad campaign is generally the remarketing campaigns, because they've heard of you and they were in market for your product. And so there's just such a much higher chance that they're going to engage and become a future customer than just going after vanilla audiences. And the challenge here is just that over the last 4 or 5 years, it's just been really difficult environment for remarketing, with death by a million cuts. And iOS 17 it won't even execute the Google and Facebook ad scripts as well as 25 other scripts. And the Chrome is just looking at all these advertiser cookies, like the third-party cookies, and just deleting them. And so it's kind of a bummer. Most marketing campaigns are down to 10-15% of what they used to be. And so this kind of brings up an interesting use case, which is that if you have this customer's AI pixel that's figuring out all the IDs of everyone who's visiting your website, and we're IDing a significant number of them, what we can do is then kind of first do something called audience expansion, and that's where we take the PII, so the email, and then we find all their phone numbers, mobile phone numbers, landlines, secondary emails, so we really get a good handle on who that person is, and then upload those through a server connection to your ad servers. This can double or triple the size of your existing remarketing audience, which again is usually the number one performing ad campaign, by a significant margin. And then the last idea I have for you today is to recover, incremental, more revenue recovery from abandoned carts. It's typically 5 to 10% of an e-commerce store's revenues is from the cart abandonment sequence. If we have all this emails of all these people who looked but didn't buy, or added to cart but didn't log in, we can synchronize with your Shopify or your Klaviyo and send this, more leads into those top, revenue recovery sequences, including people who didn't log in or people who didn't add to cart, and this is just pouring more into the top of the funnel of your cart abandonment sequences, which generally are the best performing email automations in most stores. So that's all I got. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you, Larry. That's a great tie-in for like you're wanting to catch everyone that's visiting in the end, and customers.ai is able to help you do that. And then you're just feeding the machine, feeding the rest of your channels, and then you're ideally able to segment from there based on where they came from. Great stuff, team. I've got a quick slide example here of some really classy banners that are easy to set up and follow like any of these experiences that we mentioned, whether they're coming from a different channel, if you do know them, if they're identified or anonymous. So a couple examples here where we tie in a couple things. And then we really blasted through a lot of tips. So classically, we're going to get through what questions we can get through today. And our first one is, how do we avoid the sales slump and encourage brand engagement after Black Friday, Cyber Monday? I'm going to throw this one to you, Eric, as you were speaking about influencers and kind of how they really help extend that reach for you, which I think goes in nicely.
Yeah, and I think we all focus on Black Friday, and rightly so, but it's not the only holiday. Let's be honest. Like, there are lots of other holidays. If you're in like Canada or the UK, you probably already have Boxing Day sales. Maybe if you're in the US, try it. But give people a reason to like engage with you and drive traffic. Make it, if you're using influencers and ambassadors, incentivize them to post about something, have a product of the month, have a fun, like whether it's a new release, just something you pick at random, ideally a top seller, and create your own holiday. And just kind of keep at it. It's 365, it's 24 hours a day. Like you gotta keep moving on it and kind of just keep working people all the time.
Yeah. Your site is open 24/7, right? So continued opportunity. Oren, do you have something you want to add here?
Yeah, I was going to say for shoppers who've got some site credit, that could be due to, we supply labs return or cashback, or they just get a customer service complaint and they got a $5 site credit. It's never a bad time to remind someone we've all got gift cards burning holes in our wallet. Don't forget to come spend it or you're just losing money.
Yeah.
And there's no channel to do that than through SMS with the voice of the founder of a brand. So it's not a company saying spend money, but it's a person. So there's never a bad time to do that.
Yeah. And I hate to forget if I have, like, I always go to Target and I forget my card that I have that has money on it to use. It's great. Tila, can you hit us with a comment here?
Yeah, I was going to say that about 5% of brands using Stamped actually have more sales in January than in November. And so it's to consider, what are you doing between that first November purchase and the January surge? My theory on this correlation is New Year's resolution. So anyone selling a fitness, a wellness product, you would expect a surge. So it's really about how are you capturing people during that BFCM season, maybe people who are even just browsing, and then nurturing them to that first purchase if you fit into that category.
You're so right. There's this whole shopper, just as humans, we're going through a little psychology shift once the new year comes, in whatever fashion that is for you. Great point, Tila. Cool. I know it's 2:01. I'm just going to do one more question. If you got a hop speakers, feel free to. Just going to go into this one for our crew here. What are ways to get through slow shipping times in December? Kind of similar to our one we just hit on, but more into like, it's going to be slow. Maybe how do we keep attention of our visitors? Steph, I'd love to throw this one to you and what you think on the SMS side and just what keeps people, other than just like the classic, hey, it's delayed.
Yeah, of course. I mean, definitely giving them those touch points, letting them know, don't leave them, keep people in the know. It definitely builds that loyalty through the shipping. Also, this is an amazing time to be encouraging gift cards, utilizing that. I know something might already be in flight, but you can let people know, hey, this is our shipping cutoff. You passed it, buy a gift card, or take a photo, kind of make it easy for them to grab that product photo for a gift. You can always kind of have some sort of communication there. So it's like, hey, while this might be late, you can still give them the gift and they get something later as well. That can be a big win there. And just to call it on the first question too, December is an amazing time for SMS in general. Just because someone bought during November, follow up with them December, January, new year, new you, but also, did you buy as a gift? You can send texts like that with Postscript. You can ask them, was this for yourself or for someone else? If it was for someone else, maybe give them an incentive to buy something for themselves. Let them treat themselves during this time of year too. We're not just shopping for other people. We're also trying to shop for ourselves too with the savings.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Steph. Virgil, I see we've got a comment from you.
Yeah, so this is actually amazing opportunity to educate the customer. So we're often forgetting, that, yeah, we sell the product, but the customer needs to understand how to use that product. So if you're selling, for example, makeup, you can show them how to use that makeup in the morning, at night, whatever, is the best time. If it's workout stuff, like weights and stuff, you can send them like 5 exercises to get the most out of it. If it's clothing, like how you can better match, those boots, with the jeans that you have, some styling guides. Yeah. So education is huge, because if you educate the customer correctly, you're decreasing returns. So don't have to forget about returns, especially, as I said, like fashion industry is insane. Like I never seen return rates as high as these days. So if we're just like giving the customer the product and hope they figure out, we should assume return rate. We need to educate the customer. And this is a great way to engage with the customer, build their trust, and upsell in the future. Like how is the workout going? How is the makeout working out for you? Asking them and re-engaging with them.
Yeah, that's great. Just asking a simple question is the best time. I love your highlight on education. And I'll say, like, although your competitors may be educating and everyone is educating out there, it's all about how you are educating and making your visitor, your shopper feel seen in that education. So like if it's your founder doing that, I love what Virgil said, like giving kind of that personal experience, and like they created the product or service, right? That's immediately going to give some connection. Andrew, I'd love your thoughts on this to wrap us up.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what I have to say is actually echoing what everybody else said. But really the reality of the situation is be upfront, inform people in advance, just recognize that your customers, you're building a relationship with them. This is, so through the relationship channels, communicate with them. Let them know what the expectation should be. Let them know what the cutoff dates are. Let them know when that cutoff date approaches that it doesn't mean it's the end of the world and that there's other options available. Make sure that you're educating and communicating and building up continually, and that they feel like there's a lot of optionality as well, and comfortable with the entire process. So over communicating and actually just communicating the things that everybody is going to be concerned about, even more so than you would at other times of the year, makes a big difference. And I've personally seen brands that have ran out of stock for items like 6 weeks plus, and basically ended up overselling. And then we've constructed emails where we've deployed out messages to their customer base that bought them, and found that like less than 15% ended up canceling their orders at that point in time. Wow. Because they felt the trust. Yeah. So I think just making sure that you're communicating everything that's going on in order to make sure they're going to comfortable.
Fabulous. Thank you, Andrew. And thank you everyone for joining today. I know we zipped through a lot of tips. You'll have this deck and the recording in your email soon. And if you have any questions for our speakers, feel free to email me. I will also throw that in our recap. And you'll see some really sweet offers in the email with the recording as well that you can redeem if you mention this webinar to any of these team members. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.